Hi, thank you so much for being here today. All right, so what we're going to be doing today is a DIY laundry room makeover. Our laundry room, we just lost sight of that space. We do our laundry in there, but that space has also become where we enter our house 95% of the time. It's attached to our garage. And we were just dropping our coats off. We were using it as storage with boxes. Our old, paper grocery bags were just kind of stacking up in there. So it just became a unusable, really unattractive space. So we went in there and we tried to clean it up and reclaim that space and organize it. So let's get started and we'll show you what we did. Okay, you can see what's going on here. We are just stacking a bunch of stuff over there on the counter, and back there in the corner, I don't even know what it is. We put things so far back there, we don't even know what's going on. In the cabinets we have, or the shelves rather, we have medical books, medical supplies, batteries, things that we don't need to access on a regular basis. We have our vacuum cleaner that somebody put there once, and we just keep putting it there, and that's its new place, which makes no sense. We always hit it when we come home. And you see where the coats are there behind the door. That with the leashes on it, that leads out to our garage, and the other door leads into our living room where that white coat is hanging. They're constantly banging into each other, so you can't really open the door. So if you're coming in with a bunch of groceries from like Trader Joe's, the door's barely open enough to let you in there. And it just looks really unattractive. I don't like the floor. It's looking really dingy, and I don't know, it just doesn't look like a nice space to come home to. We drop our backpacks off, and and we have that rug down there that always gets caught up in the door when you come in. All right, so the first thing we did was we went and cleaned everything with Crud Cutter, all the cabinets, all the walls, anything that we were going to paint. We first started here and just made sure everything was nice. Then I went and I got some Sherwin-Williams, gray. It's called French gray, and it's a matte color. We put it in our bathroom, and we just painted. My daughter was helping. We just painted some walls, and I think it looks a lot better. I love that gray color. It makes it feel a lot richer and cozier and just cleans it up a bit. So we taped off everything, as you can see, and we just continued painting up above and cleared out all of that stuff. Mostly it was just getting rid of all of the clutter. That is the biggest thing, and reorganizing. All right, so we're just kind of planning out painting a little bit more, but and just pulling, I think we pulled a sewing machine out of there. We pulled old bottles and stuff. Okay, we found this floor pattern, this bistro styled sort of peel and stick floor pattern. We weren't going to put anything really nice in there, and we just kind of went for it. We cleaned the floor really well with we swept it and cleaned that with Crud Cutter, and just started applying the squares, and it went in so nicely. That's my daughter doing that. And it went in really, really nicely, and I love that floor because if there's any spill from the washing machine, it's so easy to clean up, and it's not super nice. Next thing we did was we were going to move on to wallpaper. We got this peel and stick wallpaper off of Amazon, and I have mixed feelings about it. It didn't hang very well. I always recommend you get some easy hang and spray it on, no matter, even if it is peel and stick. Always work with something else. So we measured everything off and started applying it to the wall, and there's we're cutting around the openings. But this was really hard wallpaper to work with. It did not stay up like we thought. So we had a few panels come down, and my recommendation with any sort of peel and stick wallpaper is test it. Put it up before you do your whole project, like we did. Put it up for a week. Okay, for in these shelves, this was an old dollhouse trick that I use, is get paper, because it's never even, put it in there and actually sort of fill in the creases with your finger or a flat knife or something, and get all the edges, because it's never even, it's never a perfect square. And then cut that out and then lay it on top of the wallpaper, and then cut it to that image that you have actually pressed in there. And we just continued on cutting out all of that and applying it to the wall with the easy hang, and we learned the hard way. And it went on, it went pretty nicely, and that was our big sheet that we did over by the door. And you have to, obviously, it's best to work with somebody else and to really scrape it down. And with the easy hang, you have to let it dry a little bit. So you need to take your time. You want it to dry on the wall a little bit and just get sticky enough, tacky, not completely wet because it was sliding off the wall. It's a process. You'll find your own way, but it went on. I've never had this much trouble with peel and stick wallpaper. So there it is. It's looking pretty good from a distance so far. And I can't remember what we moved on next, but I love how that floor looks with the... Next up is this fluorescent light, which was constantly blinking. It was such a bright light. And so if you opened our door to our living room, you just got flooded with light. It was like going to another portal. It was just too much. That was an old alarm system that we hadn't used for like 8 years. So we pulled that out, and we, of course, needed to fill up that hole, which we did. And then we found these really cute vintage knobs. I love them. They're so Art Deco. I like that it just added another element, another texture to that room. So we just simply screwed them into the cabinets and applied them. And I think they look really, really nice. Just another element to add there. And I think it looked really, really cute. And then we were pretty much done. So we are done, and I absolutely love it. I love the gray walls. I love that color. The French gray from Sherwin-Williams in a matte color. I love because it makes the place look so cozy. I'm really into sort of doing darker colors in smaller spaces. I just feel like I don't know, it makes it richer and feel better. And I love the way the gray looks against the cream colored cabinets. And the vintage looking knobs really work. I think they just are so pretty. They just really, I just love all the detail. And I was really looking for that sort of pearl color. I don't know, I had it in mind, and when I found them, I had to get them. And I love, we picked this wallpaper because we wanted to work with the green. I didn't like that green tile that we had in there, but I actually kind of do like it. I see it a lot in sort of Art Deco homes, working with that color green with with more pattern. So we just kind of played with that. Didn't redo anything else. And of course the bistro floors just add another texture, it brightens up the space, and I think it works so well with the sort of vintage Art Deco wallpaper tied in with the flooring. I just think it's so fun. It just gives that, I don't know, it just brings it together. And so up here, I really want to keep it clean. I'm really making sure we don't stack things here, and I'm being kind of vigilant about it. I found this at a thrift store, and I just found those dried flowers. I just thought it added an element. For this, I love putting candle holders. I like putting soap dispensers on top of it. So if the soap spills, it stays right on top of the candle holder. You just clean that, and it's not all over your counter when it gets sticky, and I don't know, I don't like that mess. So for the shelves, we really decluttered them. We threw out most of the things and just reorganized it. Put all the medical books somewhere in all of our medical supplies up. We're not that clumsy, we don't need it. So I found this tray at a thrift store, and I decided I just want to keep things that I need when I go out, like my lipstick, there's my house key, and I just found a little ashtray. And for this, I found a container. I put all my sunglasses, and I think that is just a silver thing. I found this at a thrift store. I'm not sure what it is, but I love it. I think I found that at an antique shop. Holds my sunscreen, all that kind of stuff. This we had this bowl. I just put all my glasses that I'm always losing. This is the dog center. This is where all their medicine goes and whatever they need. And in this copper pot that we've had that for a while. I just put all the bags that we need when we go for our walk, and that is for our laundry. That's the sheets that I use, and sometimes if I use pods, I will use that. And I found that. It's a cookie jar that I found at Target. I can't remember how much it was, but I love that it's clear. I want everything to be clear so I know what's in it, what I'm doing. And again, it's just making sure that this space that we're really organizing what we're using this space for. And the biggest thing was clearing out all of that clutter. We had Christmas lights back there, a sewing machine. We had like Christmas glasses that we only pull out once a year at Christmas, and we forget that we even have them because they're shoved so far back in here. So that was a big thing, just making sure we're just keeping our water and our soda and things that we normally access a lot. I found this little bistro basket at Ross, I think, and I just put towels in there so when we come home from muddy walks with my dogs, I can just dry them off. I found that in our attic. I think it's an umbrella holder, but we're going to use it for that. It's a nice vintage feel. I love that coppery brass feel. I think it just ties in with this bistro floor, vintage vibe we're going for. And there's that beautiful wallpaper. And over here, I put, instead of that coat rack that was messing up, opening up the door, I put that mirror. And I, of course, took the coat rack from off of there so we don't have a bunch of coats, preventing us from opening the door. You can actually come in with your groceries and actually walk in and not be obstructed by coats bouncing the doors open. We did put this little rack up here just for the dogs. Yeah, our dogs have coats and sweaters, and that's our hats. And that is just for them. And this really is about this is the room we come in and out of with our dogs. And this is the mirror that I use to check myself before I go out, and I can just put my lipstick on, get my sunscreen on, apply it all there, get my hat together, and just make sure I don't look crazy when I leave my house. And I love the way it looks. I'm so happy that we have really organized this space and really made decisions about what we want this place to be. I took all that clutter down from up there, and that is the light we replaced the fluorescent light with. And I think I need to go in there and paint a little bit better. I can see that I'm still seeing the fluorescent light paint where it used to be. But the light is so much nicer. It's a golden light. It's not flooding this room. It's just a super warm light. So if you do happen to open the door that leads into our living room, you're not being blinded. It's not horrible. And this place looks pretty, so I'm not embarrassed if that door should ever get open if we have guests over. It doesn't look like a storage room. And that's where we keep all of our medical supplies, not out. We don't need them. We're not a hospital. We're not that clumsy. We just need it every once in a while. And it looks pretty, and so I'm into things being functional and pretty. That's my goal. So I really hope that we can keep the clutter off of here. I'm being very vigilant. This panel has fallen down, I should say, twice. And I think it's because of the water, the steam coming from the faucet. So we had to put more of the spray on there, and it seems to be holding. And like I said, this is tricky wallpaper, but before you do a project, put a panel up, give it a week, and just see how it is before you do your project. I haven't had this much trouble ever before with paper, but it's so beautiful that I really hope that it will stay up for a while more, because it really, really does look. I'm just telling you more about that panel because it's a tricky panel, but it's been staying up. But anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope I haven't scared you too much with peel and stick wallpaper. Usually it's you put it up and you don't have to worry about it. And I'm hoping that we finally have found the right balance with this, because it really is just gorgeous paper. And I really hope you enjoyed this video and you've learned something or were inspired. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you the next time. It looks so gorgeous. I'm so happy with it. Thank you again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you found it helpful or inspiring in some way. And please keep checking back, because we're going to be doing a lot more DIY videos, crafts, art, just a lot of stuff is going to be coming out pretty soon. So I hope to see you guys here, and thank you again. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. See you next time.